Welcome back to Swordbox. I am so glad you took a little bit of your time to spend with us today. We've been talking this week about loneliness, and we're going to continue to talk about it today, so let's check out our verse. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46, verse 10. There's just a few words there, but it's so profound, and I'm hoping today, if you're lonely, you will take a few moments and just be still and get in God's presence and listen to what He has to say to you. If we refuse to be still and trust God, you know that He has us right where He wants us, we're going to miss out on His best for our lives. We're going to miss out on His will, which is to grow us up and conform us to the image of His Son, Jesus Christ. He also wants to use us, and He wants to bless us. So if we squiggle out of where God wants us, we may find ourselves well outside of the will of God. Paul said in Philippians 4:11 through 13, "For I have learned in whatever state I am to be content. I know how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I have learned to be both full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." That is a huge, huge important passage in the Bible. His goal was to please Christ, not to please himself. And as Americans, I know we can be so selfish. We're trained, to please ourselves and to be satisfied and saturated with things and pleasures and convenience. And when the least little thing goes wrong, we can start acting like babies and think we're going through some horrible hardship. Paul experienced the loneliness of beatings and prison, and he was content because his goal was to please his master. And he knew although he was suffering, his master was there with him, and he was right in the center of God's will. And that's right, sometimes we're in the center of God's will and we're suffering. We're going to suffer if we're going to follow Jesus. Everything's not going to be perfect and rosy. Paul also wrote in Romans 8:18, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." We all go through different seasons in life, and no one wants to be lonely. I don't. And God doesn't want us to walk around lonely and in depression or get in trouble trying to get out of our loneliness, because it can lead to all kinds of things. One of my favorite passages in the Bible is Psalms 37:3 through 4, and it says, "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on His faithfulness. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and He shall give you the desires of your heart." And when you're in tune with God and when you're following God, He's going to make sure that the desires of your heart are good things. And we're going to get in tune with Him, and we're going to want the best for our life just like He does. Will you trust Him today? You know what? God's trustworthy. Psalm 46:1 says, "God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble." Man, that's an awesome verse to think about. Not only do we need to be still and listen to what God is saying, but we need to run to Him when we're hurting. We need to come to Him when we're in trouble. And you know what? Being lonely is very painful at times. Allow God to be your refuge. Let Him help you through these times of loneliness in your life. That's my encouragement to you. We all deal with loneliness at some time. So we're trying to give you a few practical things to do. And number one is get in God's presence. Don't sit at home alone and just watch TV all night. Get on your knees and pray. Ask God to bring you some comfort. God is right there waiting to hear from you. I hope you will take the opportunity today to spend a little time with Him and just be still. And remember, if you're obeying Jesus Christ, if you're following Him, He is in control.